What's happening, good people? Welcome to Boxing Vibes TV podcast, man. And real quick before we get started, man, I want y'all to do this thing right here for me, man. Smash this like button. If you ain't already down with the channel, man, hit the subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Notification, subscribe button. Rock with the boys, man. Boxing Vibes TV. All right. So what we got today going on, man? I'm Q. We got JD and J in the building, man, and we want to talk about this thing going on with Golden Boy, man. With Golden Boy, we got with Canelo, Golden Boy, Cinnabon, and then it's the zone, and you know, everybody. It's like a Royal Rumble, man. I don't know what's going on. Everybody at odds, you know.
He got a lawsuit for everybody, right?
He got a lawsuit, man. He got these paper gangsters. You know what I'm saying? Do their job.
I'm thinking about taking one out for that tainted ass meat excuse, because remember, we were in Vegas for that fight, and we already booked our stuff, and we ain't seen that bit of Canelo.
Most definitely, we was in Vegas, man. We was out there, man. You know, we had to go to LA just to kill some time, man.
Hey, I'm gonna take him to small claims court. I know he got it.
It's more than one of us, so we could do. It ain't enough for a class action lawsuit, but it gotta be something we can do.
Class action lawsuit. Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Morgan.
I mean, it might be big enough just in case. I mean, some of that beef might have made it to the States, man. We don't allow that clenbuterol, whatever it was, in the States. So I don't know. Maybe I had some tainted. I'm suing everybody. Yeah. I'm feeling very litigious.
Hey, you better lawyer up.
Look at the litigation. So, but real talk. We want to know, you know, what's y'all taking on whose side y'all taking? You know, is it you with Canelo, or do you feel like the zone got a leg to stand on? De La Hoya, it's pretty wild, man. JD, I want you to, you know what I'm saying. You gonna take it first, and I'll come behind you and get my thoughts on it, bro.
Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm absolutely with Canelo Alvarez on this one, man. Nobody feels sorry for Oscar De La Hoya or DAZN for handing this man all of that control with that DAZN contract. And what this essentially boils down to is that they gave Canelo all the control pretty much. He has final say on who he fights for each fight. At the end of the day, DAZN is sort of flopped in really generating subscriptions and revenue. And what they really want is they want a Triple G Canelo trilogy fight ASAP to generate revenue. Right now, DAZN does not feel like, I think it's Callum Smith. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, but Callum Smith and Billy Joe Saunders. They do not feel like those fights, you know, to mainstream audiences would generate much revenue or subscriptions. For us true boxing heads.
Hold. Is that what they're saying when it comes to Billy Joe Saunders, or is that what's just being rumored?
All right, no, that is what's being said. Because the language in the contract, according to the contract, there is a title of what they call a premier opponent. All right, and they don't label Billy Joe Saunders or Callum Smith as a premier opponent. Mainly. And really, that word premier is kind of just tied into money. We can't really think about it from the sense of premier being just a good opponent.
Competitive.
Yeah, they're looking at it as premier, right, being competition. So
a revenue driver, yeah.
Right, exactly. So right now, I believe they stated that, of course, they see Triple G as a premier opponent. And I think it might be some other UFC fighter they have as a premier opponent. Of course,
wait.
Of course, they're going to remember when they say premier, they're thinking money. So there's some fighter, I think they're thinking the whole Mayweather, Conor McGregor type thing. So that's what DAZN's looking at as far as a premier opponent. Right now, like I said, the contract that they chose to give Canelo has flopped, period. Point blank, period. DAZN in total is flopped. So it's their fault for giving them all of that control. And now pretty much Canelo was looking at it like, hey, at the end of the day, and I'm on his side with this, where you fought Triple G twice, right? At the end of the day, I'm not knocking Canelo at all for taking his time to go back in that ring a third time with Triple G. Because I think if you fight a fighter twice, I think you reserve the right to not go into a trilogy when people are forcing you to. And it harkens me back to my favorite fighter, one of my favorite fighters, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, who continuously kept going
I'm checking out
to Marcus.
Hey,
kept on going back to Marcus. And eventually, Canelo was looking at it.
If I could change.
And Canelo,
hands of time.
right. We wish we could all change the hands of time on that one. But of course, Canelo is looking at it like he respects Triple G. He knows Triple G is a formidable opponent. And at the end of the day, he's looking at it like, man, what y'all expect me to do? Keep fighting the man till he knock my ass out or till he beats me? You know, at the end of the day, I should control my own destiny. I fought the man for y'all.
I would say actually beat him in the ring definitively because that never happened, but whatever, you know.
You know what I mean? But I mean, at the end of the day,
he definitely lost the first one.
Right, exactly. And so, you know, and Canelo knows, you know, what kind of fight that would be. So I'm fully on Canelo's side, man. I think he should sue Oscar, sue DAZN, because another part of this is that he's suing Oscar for fraud. And the part where the fraud part comes into play is that Oscar is the one who told DAZN that he would line up the third fight with Triple G. And Canelo was looking at it like, wait a minute, bruh. I have final say. I never said I was going to fight Triple G that third time right now. You're the one, Oscar. You're the one who went and told DAZN I would do that. And so that's how De La Hoya comes into the equation as well on some fraud stuff, telling DAZN that that's what Canelo had already agreed to, and Canelo hadn't agreed to it. So I'm fully on Canelo's side, man. Hey, man, when you sign that contract and they hand you that check, man, you deserve the right to cash that check by any means necessary. And nobody feels sorry for DAZN handing him that contract when they chose to do that. So they looked at the Mayweather Showtime contract and they tried to flip it and do it with Canelo, and it's falling right through the bottom, and it's gotten them nowhere. So at the end of the day, DAZN and De La Hoya, they need to pay up. I mean, so I don't know, man. How y'all boys feel about it?
Well, I'm with you, man. Like I say, when you have a contract, man, I mean, all these emotions, you know, they can run rampant however they want to run, bro. But we got this paper, we got these words on it that mean something. You know what I'm saying? You're contractually bonded, and if the contract that sweet, they should have a cavity and damn need some insulin shots. Because if they did that, man, that's on them. And from what I heard, I don't even know exactly where I got this from, but it was something that when Canelo got that deal, word is De La Hoya, he told them, you're not just gonna get my prize fighter alone. You got to give me a bag. You got to take the stable. So I heard he got a whole $90 million bag for his fighters, and which a lot of them ain't. You know, Canelo didn't know nothing about that. Heard he found out about that and was pissed. And a lot of his fighters, like you got, I mean, the next Golden Boy, you know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia, dead all, you know what I'm saying? So it looked real bad, man. That's probably why Canelo, De La Hoya want to jump out there and get in the ring right now, man. Because it's rough, man. You know, it's rough out there, you know.
Check this out. Now, I don't know how factual this is, but speaking of premier opponents, they did also say a premier opponent would be Oscar De La Hoya.
Listen, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that too.
They said that Oscar will qualify as a premier opponent.
Because hey, I like to see Canelo beat them. But hold on. Also, the thing with Billy Joe Saunders, the other guy out there that he said, but I feel like Billy Joe Saunders was solid. You know what I'm saying? And for them to say that he wasn't a formidable opponent, you know, he got.
No, they didn't say formidable. They said premier, which basically means a revenue driver.
Right.
Over, man. Look, he got that cross the pond stocks and bonds over there, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, and he's solid. He's a name. But my thing is, bro, where the Lions at, bro? Where the Charlo? No Charlo. So you know what I'm saying? That's not even a thing. I'm like, you know.
Because again, you know, they Al Heyman the PBC, and so they'd have to bridge that whole DAZN kind of thing.
Let me throw a wrinkle in this. All right,
go ahead, bro.
So you say he signed a contract, and it says a premier opponent. Look, when you sign a contract, obligations work both ways. So when he saw that premier opponent stipulation, he should have had premier opponent spelled out to him. Because just like he took the bag, he also took the bag under those terms. Now, of course, if they have their definition of premier opponent, well, you're signing a contract with this company. You need to know what they classify as a premier opponent, right? So on the flip side with Canelo, they knew his track record, lining up at Amir Khan at catch weight. You know, they stuck by him when he had that tainted meat. They ain't drop him. You know what I'm saying? He messed up a lot of things with that, but they ain't drop him. So all three of us think Billy Joe Saunders is a good opponent. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We tune in, but if by their standards they're saying that's not premier, well, look, man, if they stood by you with your struggles and your stripes with your tainted meat, which messed up a lot of fans, cost a lot of fans some money. I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? There's a trifecta. You know what I'm saying? One's a fluke, two's a trend, three's a problem. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. So with that being said, I get it. Right. You basically are in the entertainment business, and they're saying you got to provide the entertainment consummate to your payment, and that's what that premier stipulation was in there for. And when you look at it, a competitive aspect, which is completely different from a revenue driver, then you're like, okay, well, now it's getting down to business, and the business of doing business is making money, and they're trying to make the most money in their return. They didn't just hand you this money to fight, and they made a mistake, like you alluded to. Well, you said plainly, Julius, JD, that they tried to copy the Mayweather playbook. And weren't we all critical of that Mayweather deal? Yep. Because for that 6-fight deal, if I'm not mistaken, it was Madonna twice, Roberto Guerrero. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like Robert Guerrero. Robert Guerrero. Excuse me. Yeah, Robert Guerrero, the Ghost. My bad.
Andre Berto. So you was almost there. Andre Berto.
Andre Berto. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to go through the list. Thank you for. So you look at, and now don't get me wrong, he did pay up with that one super huge match at Pacquiao fight.
Right.
But they saw the potential pitfalls from a fighter who had a fan base but hadn't yet established, his box office, durability with whoever he fought. Because there were rumblings. People were getting tired of, okay, Amir Khan, horrible. Who was the other guy? Chavez Jr. Mm-hmm. People were starting to notice, like, hey, and so people were clamoring for a Triple G fight. He doesn't want to give a Triple G fight. Whatever reason he has. He did. I'll give him credit. He did step in the ring with him. Mm-hmm. I don't think he beat him. Ever beat him, but he did. And when anybody does that, you give them their money. But also, too, man, if they have a legitimate stipulation, it's like, hey, we're not dumb. You got to have premier fighters, because we saw what happened with a precedent with Floyd Mayweather. So that's why we said premier opponents. We just didn't say competitive opponents. It was specifically alluded to a revenue driver. So I can't be on Canelo's side. Listen, I always take the little guy against the big business any day. But that little business can cost me some money because they cheated, or got caught. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, I didn't say he cheated. He had some tainted beef. You know what I'm saying? Who was the young lady that got cleared by the IOC because she had some tainted beef?
Jenny Fuchs.
Jenny Fuchs. Canelo has some tainted beef. Hey. Let me take that back. I apologize. I enjoy watching Canelo fight, but they stuck with him through that. That messed up the game. That messed up some Vegas money, because Vegas was anticipating an influx of people. I mean, they still got a few suckers. We ain't changed our flight. You know what I'm
saying? You did.
Huh? Oh, hey, this is a boxing podcast. We ain't gonna talk about all the other stuff. All right, so I'm done talking about that. I'll back to you guys.
hey, man. Hey, I will say this though. kind of to your point, Jay, I'm on Canelo's side, but I will say DAZN also is looking at it from a big picture standpoint too, and feeling like Canelo could do them a solid. Because y'all tell me how much y'all think they paid Canelo. Y'all remember the Rocky Fielding fight? Y'all remember that fight?
I tried not to.
I'm trying to remember the name.
Bruh, y'all tell me how much at minimum y'all think Canelo took home for just that fight.
I'm gonna tell you what he deserved.
With
$2 million.
With the contract he got, what it was 10 fights?
Bruh, yeah, 10 fight contract.
So it had to be 20 million at least.
The reporting at minimum, DAZN paid him 15 mil for that fight.
What?
15 for Rocky Fielding. So they're looking at it
look,
you know what I'm saying, bruh, come on, man.
I got a little teensy with an amateur background. Give me a year and a half. I'll hop in there and beat Rocky Fielding for 15 million. Hey, when it take off? Golly, 15 million? That's what you got to do with 15 million?
15 mil, bro. At minimum.
No, I say I beat him. Put the money up. 15 mil? I beat him. But that's what I'm trying to say to the quality of that opponent, bro. You had to see him to believe it.
Right. I don't even remember, dude.
But,
I remember the name. I don't remember that fight.
But at the end of the day, man, I don't feel sorry for DAZN, man. I don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for him, man. I'm on Canelo's side, though. I'm gonna hang my hat with Canelo. We're gonna chill.
Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? It's a very good balance because you with Canelo. That was a very good point you made, JD. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Jay. And, you know, me, I'm with Canelo because he got a contract, but I do know how, you know what I'm saying, we have work for big countries with unions and everything, and seeing a lot of back and forth between to one side to the other side, and how things are worded is generally, for the most part, they leave all of the wiggle room for the big company. You know what I'm saying? So we had to see. You know, that'll be something that'll be worked out in court. But with the things De La Hoya did, allegedly, right? Things he did, and you know, I don't know. It's pretty weird.
It's gonna be interesting, man, because that whole premier fighter term is real ambiguous. So that's really what it sounds like they're gonna go to war in court over. Is he has the right for final say, but who gets to really define premier opponent? Yeah,
I mean, and that's pretty crazy. I don't really see how. I don't know. That's pretty wild. Yeah. You know, I don't see how they could say that Joseph Saunders.
Really, Joe Saunders,
If you fought Rocky Fielding, right? If you fought somebody named Rocky Fielding, but that's what it is. Either way it goes, man. I think we can put a zip up on that one, man. That one pretty much a wrap, man. And you know, y'all, if y'all didn't do it already, man, please go ahead and smash that like button, notification, subscribe. You know, so you can screenshot when you hit the like button. Fast forward 5 years from now, man. You know, when we're a big deal. You know what I'm saying? And, you know,
smash that like button.
Live on the strip of Vegas.
Already. Boston Vibe TV, man. We signing out, man. We love y'all. You know what I'm saying? And peace 1000. Till next time, baby. That's it.